Welcome to the second tutorial video on Kathe-Khajane. In our previous video, we learned how to download, install and subscribe to the Kathe-Khajane story podcasts. In this video, we'll explore how to access and use the stories on a smartphone. Once you subscribe to the podcasts, you'll get a list of those in the subscriptions. You can find the subscriptions option either at the bottom or if you tap 3 lines on top left, there you can find this option. If you tap on any story podcasts, you will see a list of stories as shown on the screen. For each story, you can view the title of the story duration, date it was uploaded and the file size. When you tap on any story, it opens the particular stories page with more details. There are 2 ways to listen to the stories. You can choose based on the internet connectivity and how you plan to use the story in the classroom. First, you can listen to the story online. We call that as streaming. Second, you can download the story for offline listening. Tapping on stream plays the story immediately. You can pause it by tapping the same button. Please note that streaming requires an active internet connection. Downloading the story is a better option. It saves the story file on your phone, allowing you to use it multiple times. This also helps you listen to the stories later without needing an internet connection. The size of each story is usually around 3 to 5 MB, which is almost the same as a photo you click. So you don't need to worry about the storage it takes on your phone. You can see the downloaded files under More option here. This feature is especially useful if your school has poor or no internet connectivity. You can also check the storage size of each downloaded story on the same screen. The story notes is having many content such as writer, narrator and editor names. It may have a short description on the story followed by the ways to engage students using the same. At the end, it may have 4 more things. 1. Suitable for. This indicates the story belongs to which student's level. For example, lower primary, higher primary, etc. 2. Themes of the story. This describes the category the story is connected to. For example, health, hygiene, vocabulary, etc. 3. Tags. This mentions classes for which this story may be applicable for. And 4. This is the link for Karnataka Open Educational Resources, that is KOER page, for more activities on the story. This will open in a browser window showing suggestions on what all pre-listening, during listening and post-listening activities can be done during such sessions. When you tap Stream option here, the audio player that is playing the story appears at the bottom. Tap it to expand the player and view more things. This shows the thumbnail of the story along with some controls. This is to rewind 10 seconds. This option plays or pauses the story. This fast forwards to 30 seconds. If you feel like the story narration is too fast or too slow, you have the option to change the speed of the story. Sometimes, for example, for younger children, if you'd like to slow the story a little, you can move the slider towards left. Similarly, if you'd like to play the story faster, you can move the slider towards right. This show notes option here will enable you to go through the story description page while the story is playing, like this. Tap the back button to return to the story page. Now we will see how sorting helps in accessing the stories quickly. Sorting helps you in arranging the stories in the order you want, so you can quickly access those as per your needs. On the podcast homepage, you can sort the story list by story title, its duration and the date on which it was uploaded. This sort option arranges the stories in ascending or descending order. To sort the stories, tap the 3 dots on top right and tap Sort. Episode title sorts stories alphabetically. Duration sorts stories by short to long or vice versa. Date sorts by oldest or latest uploads. Now it may happen that you really like a story and would like to use it again or remember it for future use. This is a good way to build your own personal story collection. In such case, you have the option to add these stories to a separate list called favorites. To do that, long press on a story, tap Add to Favorites. Later, to access the favorite stories, simply tap More, Episodes, and then in this list, tap this star icon. All your favorites appear neatly in one place. To remove any story from favorites, long tap that story and tap Remove from Favorites. Since storage is limited on many phones, you can work with the downloaded stories to manage your storage as well. Downloaded stories can be deleted in your phone if you feel those files are not required to exist in your phone anymore. But don't worry, although you delete them from your phone storage, they will remain available in the podcast forever and you can download them again when required. To delete downloaded stories, tap More, Downloads, and here a bin icon is visible. You can tap that to delete. Your phone stays free of unnecessary files and you can download only what you currently need. To receive updates on podcasts, including new stories, you should refresh the story podcasts regularly. It is recommended to do this at least once in a month. To refresh, go to the story podcast section, tap 3 dots on top right corner and select Refresh. In addition to the given information, also note the following things. You may need to refresh our podcast homepage frequently to get updates on new stories. A queue is a collection of stories that you want to play automatically one after the other. You can add stories to a queue in the same way that you add stories to favorites. If you want to see a list of stories you have listened to previously, you will find it in the Playback History option. You can see Playback History option in More section. You can explore the Settings option to see other settings related to the application. So this is how you can explore, organize and play Kathe-Khajane stories on smartphone in most meaningful way. Please take some moment to watch this video again, pause wherever needed to follow the steps given. If you have any queries regarding any of these, you can also reach out to us to the given email ID, that is tech-team@itforchange.net. Thank you for watching.